Okay, let's see what's going on here. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure having you in. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And technically, as a spiritual healer, what I do is I assist other people in becoming in alignment with who they are. In other words, you can also say that I help other people in healing themselves because the whole healing process can only be done by you. It's called self-realization, self-consciousness, or saving yourself. However, as a spiritual healer, I just hold on the mirror of knowledge so you can see yourself in it. That's pretty much the self-reminder that I'm giving you, or self-awareness. Do you remember the time? Yeah, well, that's your consciousness, remembering who you are. And for you to do that, you have to become in alignment with the person that you are, meaning your emotions and your intellect has to come together. And ultimately, at this point, then you'll become one with the universe. So it's the idea of mind, body, and soul. And what that tells you is the alignment. It's the mind and the body becoming one. Then you have the universe, which is the world, whatever the fuck you want to call it, God. And, becoming whole. So the whole perfection, that's exactly what it is. Not flawless, but to become perfect, like your God. Jesus did say some shit on that. I mean, whatever the fuck. I mean, shit, that was a long time ago. But I think there's a verse that probably talks about being perfect as your dad or as God is perfect, whatever the fuck. But what this is saying pretty much is everything I just said. Is the alignment, is you becoming whole, is that union between your lower self and the higher self, or that union between you as a human being to the universe. It's pretty much extending your consciousness and having that connection. Listen, it could be said so many different ways, right? But anyway, technically that's what I do. Now, if you're coming back, you already know. Welcome back. Damn, it's cold as fuck outside, man. I was outside for a minute. Damn. But anyway, I'm getting my shit right, though. You know what I mean? So if you're coming back, it's a Holy Communion. You already know. Hey, happy holidays, everybody. Hey, Merry Christmas if you celebrate that. If you don't, it's all good, baby. Have fun. You hear me? So, then, if this is your first time or if you come back, I always tell you a little bit of, how I define spirituality, because the tool that I use as a spiritual healer is that I talk about spirituality, trying to help you to make the connection between yourself and yourself, you getting in touch with your spirit. And that's pretty much what spirituality is. It's telling you about you. Now, unfortunately, due to lack of knowledge, a lot of people look at look at spirituality as something, as like religion. Or if not, other people would probably look at it as a belief system. Do you see what I'm saying? And other people would just tell you straight up and down, yeah, that shit is, it's, it's not from here. It's you know what I'm saying? It's so far distant from them, they can't relate. That's like a whole different level. But the reality of the matter is this: is that no, spirituality is you. You are spirit. So therefore, you are learning about you, and that's why you'll see people that are involved in the occult will tell you to get to know yourself now, or knowing thyself. You know, and what the fuck was I gonna say? So yeah, I was gonna say relating to knowing who you are. There's a whole process that you got to go through. That is that self-realization, right? Remembering the time, but most importantly, being conscious of who you are. Do you see what I'm saying? So now, then when you look at, right, when you're trying to define what the occult or spirituality is, pretty much, then you see when you get to the bottom of it, it's really telling you about you. like what people are calling the occult, which is pretty much, there's different definition for it, right? But the most common one is a hidden culture, right? But hidden meaning that you have to look for it. You see what I'm saying? In other words, that's why they be telling you about, your subconscious mind. So that science is dealing with the non-tangible aspect of you, and that's all the hidden, culture is. Because in reality, they know, and that's what we're trying to remind you of. It's that tangible side that rules what you're looking at. In other words, it's your spirit that's guiding your life. That's making you, what I'm saying? It's the spirit, that operates your life. You are being, because you are spirit, you are spirit. So therefore spirituality is simply talking about you. But due to ignorance, you think it's distant from you, it's something, what I'm saying? It's like you got to be initiated or certain things. Now, with that being said, there is a level of initiation too, but just so you know, that has nothing. That is a whole different conversation. But the bottom line is that when we're talking about spirituality, we're simply talking about you. Your humanity is your spirituality, because when you're dealing with the occult, what the occult is doing is teaching you about the things that you don't see about you. Your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, your wounded child, all of that is getting into another aspect of you to let you know that you are more than what you're looking at. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like that is, that's why the Indian called this an illusion, meaning the world that we're living in. So, but for you to be able to see through it, that's where the occult is dealing with the hidden culture. That's exactly what that means. It ain't nothing fancy. It's not spooky or none of that shit. Then now at that point, something called your dark side could be seen. Could be seen or understood as the part of you that you don't see. But again, when we're talking about the dark side of you, there's so many different aspects of that too. On one level, it could be that. On another level, it could be, your ego, that dark side of you, that's how most people trying to, I guess, call it. But I'm just trying to paint a picture for you to see that when we're referring to darkness, it could have many different definitions depending on what you're talking about and what level or what you're trying to say. Or sometimes you could refer to a dark side of a person, like the edgy part of a person, and we may refer to that as being dark. Or someone who's being triggered, but it's not really a darkness, but it's just, that darkness in them that they never addressed, that they have not acknowledged. Because the spirit, listen, is going to come out one way or another. And that's why you still spirit, even if you know it or not. You may be sleepwalking, definitely, but you're still a god, baby. And that's what we understand. Even when the monks, they always say namaste, even if you're not conscious. In other words, I see you even when you don't see who you are. This is some God shit. So this nigga's connecting with you on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? And that's moving in the darkness too. But anyway, I hope you get the point. But generally speaking, that's what the occult is dealing with. The other aspect, the non physical aspect of yourself, your psychology, your emotions, all of these things, in order for you to become whole as a spiritual healer, these are the things that I help you with in becoming in connection with. But anyway, We're gonna leave that there. And I think tonight, man, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because I was inspired. I was getting a bunch of fucking download today. You know what I'm saying? Now, the very first thing that I wanted to address before I get into the Gnostics, because I'm going to be talking about Gnostics a little bit. So the one thing I wanted to address, man, it's like I've been noticing. I don't know if you guys know anything about the prosperity gospels, right? What that is you know what I'm saying? It's guys like what's my man name? His talk game was on point. Nigga from Atlanta, man, or North Carolina. A Jerry Curl motherfucker. I can He always talks about prosperity and shit. So in other words, you know, I'm noticing it's like it kind of went into the church shit. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of prosperity. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm noticing how it's creeping up a little bit into what it's calling the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like niggas aren't really saying it this way, but it's almost like now it's becoming if you're powerful, so you got to show your money. If you're abundant, as you're claiming that you are, you got to have something to show for. I mean, you got to show it. Again, it's not being said that way, but I'm pimping out games, and I could see it's like a couple of people I've been like listening to. It's almost like they're saying, as you are getting into your power, when it comes to spirituality and shit like that, because what you're seeing right now is that a lot of other people who are getting money are also being spiritual. So therefore, their speech, like when they talking about, making things happen or how they've been making things happen, how they are in connection with their spirit, which is all good, which is all part of it. But it almost seems like, what I'm saying, they are crediting maybe their divinity, their divinity into what they possess. I don't know. It kind of sounds like that to me because the reason why I wanted to address this, because like they say, life isn't as good with money as it is as bad, without. So life isn't as good as when you have money, and it's not as bad when you don't have money. So I'm saying this to say, you know, um, you could be in touch with yourself. You could be conscious, and maybe choose not to do certain things. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you could be poor and still be conscious. You could be rich and be conscious. So what I'm saying is being rich or being poor, what I'm saying, doesn't determine if you're going to be conscious or not. Or it doesn't define you being conscious or not. So again, that's not what they're saying, but I could see that shit is sneaking into that. It's going to go from that uh, uh, fucking prosperity gospel into it's going to turn into a prosperity motherfucking spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Niggas already doing it with the law of manifestation. You know what I'm saying? So again, but I'm not saying this to say that there's an issue with having money or with getting money at all. I hope my point, what I'm saying? I hope you got the point by me showing you that you could be conscious and be poor, and you can also be conscious and be rich. You know what I'm saying? Neither you being poor means that you're conscious, or you being rich mean that you're conscious either. There's a thin line. There's a thin line here that I feel like people are not paying attention to. But, okay. I'm just saying, what I'm saying? Because now, again, there's nothing wrong with getting money. get money, shit, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? But I guess we ought to be careful not to. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me now to be like, let's just say, how can I be conscious and now and not being rich and shit? Like, let's just make sure it doesn't get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are fooling ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we're supposed to get. In fact, the whole idea about, being spiritual and not getting money is like, I don't want to say it's crazy, but it's very limited. Because neither one of those situations will define who you are. And sometimes, depending on what your mission is, you may have to be spiritual and be fucking broke. That could be your path. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? That could be your fucking path. And if that's your path, like, I'll give you, there's a guy, okay, uh, Bobby Hemmett. I mean, I don't know his financial situation, but the amount of work that he put in, you're going to tell me, okay, let's just say we find out this motherfucker's broke, right? Then you're going to be like, that nigga's not conscious? You see what I'm saying? But you'd be like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Look at this nigga now, man, you know what I'm saying? And this nigga talking about that conscious shit. I hope it's not going to get to that point because now, it's like niggas are always, I mean, it's good because I also believe, I guess the underlying message of what they're trying to say is, you know what I'm saying, you got to show your spirituality. Oh, a million, listen, shit, like a million, a trillion, gazillion. But it can be shown or be proved both ways. Either you having to be poor or maybe you having to be rich. But neither one of them is better than the other. Do you see what I'm saying? Especially because the time, I mean, just like if we're talking about hip hop, right? The niggas who introduced the game, weren't the one who's benefiting from it. And that's why this dumbass nigga was saying what he was saying. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's me being punked, but nobody saw this motherfucker was bullshitting. I mean, it got to a point where niggas had to reply to him. I don't know. I think that nigga was trolling. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're not, it's like, certain things I would rather think that you're trolling. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, I would rather, like, even if you're not, well, you know what? Fuck it. You trolling, nigga. Shit, straight up stupidity, man. Straight up stupidity. But anyway, so now that I have addressed that, I guess in so many ways, is that it's very subtle. Spirituality is very subtle because and that's nuance or subtlety. I think I don't know if that's a word or not, but it's like that's why it is all and nothing. That's why it is everywhere and nowhere. Rich and poor. Rich and poor. Have and not having, or have nots. Come on, niggas. Come on now, man. This shit is very fragile, man. That's why you can't define that shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, okay, this is the point that I was making, and I forgot to talk about, is that the proof it's got to be in the pudding, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell niggas, you don't want to spiritualize spirituality, you want to materialize it. Meaning the spirit that you are, the spirit's got to be made flesh. That's how you have the gods walking amongst men. When you become in that alignment with yourself, you know what I'm saying, the download is crazy. Like your connection with the other side, it just, you know what I'm saying, you in touch with the fucking ancestors. Listen, man, I love that shit, man. This reality has a whole different meaning for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Well, shit, nigga. I'm privileged up in this bitch. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I get to see how good looking I'm truly am. Getting in touch with my beauty and fucking spirit, the universe, man. Shit's beautiful. Shit's beautiful, but I just don't want to lose you too much. So now, let's jump into the Gnostics. Now, before I even talk about that, there's a movie by Morgan Freeman and my man Brad Pitt. It's called Seven. Now, for some reason, y'all, I have never really took the time and watched that entire movie. I remember seeing it when I was younger, but it's always like the middle or the beginning or towards the end. But I never really sat down and watched the whole movie. Until a couple weeks ago, I'm letting you guys on some bullshit right now, right? Then, my spirit tells me, hey, go ahead, sit your eyes down, watch the whole thing. So, I'm saying this to say, me talking about the Gnostics, or me, the fact that I'm going to be talking about the Gnostic right now, I was inspired, from that movie, and now, I'm here. I know I was a little bit dramatic. Hey, listen, man, relax. It's a holiday, baby. How you doing? Mm-hmm. Right. So, now if you know anything about the Gnostics, that movie was just a Gnostic perspective. So technically, you have this guy who's, you know, killing people. And he killed a number of total of 7 people based on those 7, how can I say this? How did it call it? I think there's something with the Catholics. I don't know. But anyway, the 7 sins. Was it 7 sins? I mean, there's a terminology for it that is not coming to me right now. But it's part of the church, in terms of, you know, uh, the devil and shit like that. But just so you guys know, just like Christianity, well, okay, let's start from here. The Gnostics are Christians. Now, just like in Christianity, you have different level of Christianity at different time. There was a time where, the Holy Grail was, not just celebrated, but it was revered like as some ill shit. You know what I'm saying? And then other times, and if you don't believe me, even between, I don't know if you guys know a little bit about the Bible, where I think it was Paul and Saul, they were talking about different gospels between, him and Peter. So he called them false brothers. But whatever, fuck. If you know, you know. But for you, if you don't know, it may sound like a whole bunch of bullshit. But I'm going somewhere. Trust me, right? So I'm trying to make the connection to let you know, if you know, that that has been many different type of spirituality or Christianity, and it also was reflected, in time. Now I'm not too good with history. I just know what I need to know. Now I don't have the dates, but I understand the connection in those events and how things happen. Do you see what I'm saying? But anyway, now going back to, now keeping that in mind, it was also the same thing for the Gnostics too. That's why you have the general Gnostic perspective. It would probably be from the Nag Mahadid, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the Nicene Gnostics. Now, those are the one, personally, I would recommend, because their philosophy was totally different, or maybe their understanding of God was totally different from the other type of Gnostics. Because the Gnostics, since we were talking about being, Christians, just like the Christians, they pretty much say the same thing, but they say it in a higher level. I'll give you a perfect example. Now, the church will tell you that we are born sinners. And then the Gnostic will tell you we're living in a wicked world. So there's nothing that could be good about this world. So in other words, they sort of like criticize what maybe you're calling your God if you don't know any better. It's you know what I'm saying? So I'll give you a perfect example. Yahweh in the Old Testament, I believe, is equivalent to their Yah the Both. That created this world, because based on their definition, is that the lesser gods created this world. And the reason being, and that's why they don't anything material, they don't ascribe to it. So therefore, this world is a wicked world. It's all bullshit. It's all fucked up world. That's why they're saying, fuck humanity, fuck your physical body, fuck this life. If you're looking at the movie, that's what the movie is pretty much telling you. You know what I'm saying? And why do you say fuck this life? Because this life has nothing good in it. No different than your regular Christian telling you you're born sinners, you don't deserve anything. You ain't shit. But goddamn, like, if I really ain't shit, and in the mix of all that shit, me not being nothing, then God sent his own son to die for me, and you still telling me I ain't shit? Oh, man, that shit is crazy. Listen, man, that's mind control at its finest. The nigga did all of that for you just so you know you nothing? Goddamn, my nigga. That's like you working hard for your kids. You're doing all that shit for your kids just so you could tell your kids they ain't shit. Wow. I gotta sip on this one. But that's what they training you. That's why your mind doesn't know what's real or not, right or left. It's all about the way we are being conditioned. Then now for you to be humbled, or you feel like you're doing the right thing, it's for you to say you ain't shit. But Jesus died for you. Do you see what I'm saying? But I mean, this nigga would want to die for me, so I know I ain't shit. He did this for me, so I know I ain't shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like having my kids, I'm taking the bullets for you, but bitch, you ain't shit. What? Damn. Yeah, that shit's backward, dog. But that's the illogical, you know what I'm saying, or the lack of logic that they're dealing with. Because once you're looking at life from one perspective, you know what I'm saying, or that's why true balance, you know what I'm saying, when we talk about African spirituality, you embrace both sides, your physical and your non-physical part. They come together. That's the yin and the yang. That's the masculine and the feminine. Now we're talking about, you know what I'm saying, polarity. We're talking about the spirit knowing exactly who the fuck you are. Then you know there's no separation. You are behind your... Listen, there's no body without spirit. That's why the whole concept of the Holy Grail is to let you know, the container and what's inside of and the content are one and the same. That's mind, body, and soul. That's you becoming conscious. not just somewhere else, but you materialize this motherfucker. Now you become the God walking amongst men. Your vibration, your speech, your connection to others. You know, some may call me the silent one. Because I make too much noise, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, you know, silent ones speak louder. You know, you understanding that you are everything and nothing at the same time, experiencing that, you know, being non judgmental is being reflected. Your energy is also projecting that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers know when you are in my presence, man. You like this is, come on, man. It's that type of vibration, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like they were saying in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers would just be healed. You know what I'm saying? Walking through Jesus' shadow. A lot of motherfuckers was being healed in my shadow. They didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even know it until I walk away. You know what I'm saying? Not even, you know what I'm saying? Just, you were being healed in my shadow, nigga. Just being in my shadow. I wasn't even paying attention to you. But since you were around me, nigga, you were still blessed. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna know the difference. So spirituality has to be practical. I'm all about that. Everything's got to be practical, baby. It's got to be dynamic. You know, that's why the words has to be made flesh. You know what I'm saying? The words ain't playing. There's a whole bunch of action happening here. You know what I'm saying? But it's happening in different levels and layers of understanding. That's why sometimes not to do something could mean it's a lot of action. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember it was this kung fu movie I was watching. You know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes it's a whole lot you not to react to people. You're not acting, you're not reacting, but there's a whole lot of action taking place. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You know what I'm saying? The silent one. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call me the silent one. But there's a whole lot of work happening, man. You know what I'm saying? Your absence, your silence speak louder than you, nigga. But what's taking place, there's different things, and there's a lot of things that's taking place. There's your state of mind, which is also acting, which is active, right? And then you also have, you know what I'm saying, like how that energy is being projected. Well, you already know as it is within, so it is without. But, you know what I'm saying, that's why, you know, okay, when someone's being triggered, I could tell you, you know what I'm saying, that is your shadow, right? Or your ego. However the fuck, for lack of better terms. Let's just say this real quick, right? You can tell, oh, somebody's being triggered, right? You know, it's something that they didn't acknowledge. It's reacted, it's being seen a certain way on the outside, and there's something else that's also taking place in the inside, which is that ego or that wounded child that was never addressed, and that is being reacting because it's closed off. It's protecting itself. That's why a lot of people are arrogant when they are protecting who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's why they gotta act nasty. That's why they do the worst. You know what I'm saying? Because they are in protection mode, and they will protect their you know, because that side of them, you know what I'm saying, to the best of their ability. That's why toxicity emanates from being closed off. That's when you don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to open up. You don't want to. You don't want to be weak. And meanwhile, you all being weak. That's why your growth. You grow. Your growth is you're gonna go through your pain for you to grow. You know what I'm saying? This is a workout. This is the body and form here, man. You working out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Those life lessons. Those are your weights, baby. Oh, you gotta carry your cross. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Listen. How do you think I got my beauty? I mean, shit. I mean, you could say it was given and also earned. So whichever one you said, you still got it right. You know what I'm saying? But you may get it wrong if you identify with only one side of it. That's when you become one-sided, meaning, you know what I'm saying? Now, if we were going back to the Gnostics or Christianity, so their whole interpretation, their whole talk, that's why, you know what I'm saying, your body is being seen like as it cannot be divine. You know what I'm saying? The body has always been considered as your enemy because, generally speaking, it does what it want to do. You know what I'm saying? You see some ass nigga, your dick gonna get hard, you be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the body does that. You know what I'm saying? Or if you got a fat cat, you know what I'm saying? You see him a dog, trying to jump on it, you know what I mean? Certain things may trigger, may happen. So in these religions, so technically I'm giving you their blueprint so you understand, because, so I'm giving you the codes and how to look at these motherfuckers. And that's what their interpretation, the way that they are conditioning your mind. So now you have your humanity, this life here is not good. So somehow in their tale of creation, they were saying the lesser gods, right? In the middle of creation, somehow, just like this Christian said, everything was perfect until some shit happened, right? That's when you have your Adam and Eve and serpent story, right? So now with these niggas, in the process of creation, somehow, you know what I'm saying, or the lesser gods were somehow they were cast out pretty much, so they became on the, you know what I'm saying, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So technically they telling you, you know what I'm saying, that something bad happened in the mix of God in the universe. Their story is this. In the universe, you know what I'm saying, then you would have the lesser gods, right? But then in that perfect world, there's something that happened that you and I don't know. So now you have, y'all the Barth, or you know what I'm saying, how the fuck they say it, then created this world that you're looking at. And the way they look at this world is misery, misery, misery. So therefore they're saying, there's a lot of suffering that's happening on Earth. You got to work hard. If you watch that movie, you know what I'm saying, it's only addressing, that's why I always tell people the Gnostic has a dark, gloomy perspective on the fucking world. And understand, to the pure, all is pure. So therefore, they are looking this world only through the physical. And that's what being one-sided is, because we're not just our physical body. Because there is a balance in us. There is a non-physical side of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like we are trained to be greedy. I think greed was one of the crime that, you know what I'm saying, technically they're saying, you are greedy because you're human. That is not fucking true. Do you see what I'm saying? Because even in the movie, you know what I'm saying, what this nigga, Morgan Freeman, He wasn't killing anybody. So even the setup, I mean, even the movie itself is pretty much not in alignment with the message that they're trying to relate. Now, if you will, now, no, man, we're not. You know, it's not because we're fucking human, we're fucking greedy. That's not true. We are greedy because we are ignorant. In other words, we have not identified ourselves with the other aspect of who we are. And that's what ignorant is. You don't see the full picture. You look at it, but you don't understand it. In other words, you're being fooled. You're looking to be fooled. That's ignorant. That's not because you were born here. You know what I'm saying? That's like the same shit when niggas be talking bad about your fucking ego. Your ego ain't stopping you from shit. You stopping yourself. Now it's being seen as the ego because you had the ego is protecting you. And that's how you train your ego. Like if you train to be greedy, how the fuck would you not have a fucking ego? It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are you truly trying to be greedy or what? I know you're not playing yourself, and your ego understands that. That's why your ego is there to protect you. Well, if you playing, your ego is not playing. Put it this way. That's how much this nigga is at your service. Then now niggas are making your ego your enemy now. Like, what? Do you see what I'm saying? And I think there was somewhere too, they're saying pretty much, you know what I'm saying, oh, death, I think was is part of, they're saying, even in this world, like you being born, then you gotta die. Like, but we know that death is not the end. If you somehow, you know, going through a bridge, you know, there's gotta be an entrance and a fucking exit. So you're being born, then you're getting the fuck out. Technically, any one of the subject that they talk about or those sin that they're referring to because of the human body, and I think the last one was revenge. I don't know if it was a revenge. I don't fucking remember. When Morgan Freeman told him not to kill the guy because that's what the guy was looking for. So his point was to, again, you see, they're showing you the attachment with only the physical. There's no spirit in it. This guy was not thinking in terms of how Morgan Freeman was telling him he wants you to act this way. Meaning he was not in his spirit. He was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when you refer to humanity as just emotion, like, what the fuck happened to your intellect? Is it not part of the game? Are we just on earth with no spirit? Do you see what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. Are we just like, what the fuck? Is there any type of enlightenment that's taking place over here? That's why it's not about being over here, man. That's why the masters know, listen, man, this is not my concern. Because I understand exactly what this is. I know who I am. I know the fucking illusion. And that's pretty much what our ancestors pretty much was teaching us. You know what I'm saying? They left us notes. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much, everything is there for us. And when we're ready, and people like us, you know what I'm saying, or descended or ascended masters, however the fuck you want to look at it, coming back, you know what I'm saying, doing the ancestors' work. They gave it to me, I'm here to give it to you. Now, I give it to you my way, but nevertheless, you know what I'm saying, we are all one. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, We have our separate energy too. You know what I'm saying? So we working. we just we here, man. We here for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said. I felt like I didn't say much about the Gnostics, but I felt like I also said what was necessary. So I didn't break it down in the sense of, let's just say, telling you the chronological aspect, and pretty much I gave you the essence of their spirituality or God perspective. You know what I'm saying? Which is very, very similar. It's just a different. It's just a new age. That's what the new age is. Those are your new age. So in other words, it's just an updated version of the same bullshit, and that's what the Gnostic is. But when you deal with the Nicene Gnostics, now this is now you playing games, and that's why they were not recognized, because they were talking about the same shit African niggas were talking about. They were talking about the same shit the motherfucking Egyptians were fucking talking about. They were talking that nigga shit, which is African spirituality, which is ma'at, balance, mind and matter, the spirit and the material world coming together. We get to see things exactly for what it is. Then I understand my body is not outside of me. I mean, it is, but it's not. I understand what the body is there for. The body is me. The Nicene talks about that. Because a big chunk of their philosophy, they're describing the Last Supper. Oh, these niggas went in. And even they talk about the Holy Grail too. Other people define the Holy Grail as pussy, whatever the fuck. Anyway, hey. But I guess I'm having a different conversation too. But anyway, but the chalice, that's why every magician have a chalice. All of these things that represent something. The bowl, having the bowl, because the bowl symbolizes also your body. It embodied, it receives. You know what I'm saying? But most importantly, what's being received in that bowl is becoming, that's why you have a holy, I don't know, chalice, or the chalice is just sparkling and all that shit. Because now, and shit, fuck around. It may look better than what the fuck is inside of it. But the idea is that the direct connection, mind, body, and soul, your mind and your body, spirit and matter. So a big chunk of what they were talking about, what I'm saying, they were talking about eminence. Eminence, which pretty much telling you God is in everything. So the Gnostics' general view is telling you, this is a lesser world. That's why, somehow you miraculously, or accidentally end up being here as a star seed, then you got trapped. Again, those, I mean, for you, if you understand, you understand, but it's just a mythology, pretty much showing you that the spirit that you are, I mean, it's not even intending, in my opinion, it's not really telling you about the physical world as the general Gnostic perspective. I think it's really a spiritual shit, like in the sense of, what I'm saying, they're showing you, they're using certain words to let you know because you're not conscious, so you are trapped in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Even the Buddhist or the Tibetan monks, they have the lotus. Because the lotus, what I'm saying, grows, comes from the mud. The idea is from the darkness comes the light. So, which is also the hidden knowledge. That's what the whole occult, I mean, it's all connected. They're talking about the same shit. So now where I'm going with this, is that depending on how or the state of consciousness that you are, if you're learning about the Gnostics, like that's why for me, I always thought I liked them, and I still do. Oh shit, nigga, it doesn't make a difference. Is that in terms of, what I'm saying, that would help you to elevate. If you're stuck in the bullshit, not being able to see past it, then at that point, what I'm saying, it's going to be fuck humanity, because that's what makes sense. It's a lesser self than the material world is shit. Let's get the fuck out of here. All that shit. You're just being one-sided. That is eating from the tree of good and evil. That's pretty much, the Christianity perspective. And that's exactly what it is. Or, if you want to go a little bit deeper, it's a European perspective. So a lot of us have a European perspective on spirituality. That's why a lot of us are falling short. You know what I'm saying? And regardless on how better you may think you are than, let's just say, in so many words, I could see where you're coming from. But you're still using their same language. Because I remember Dr. Lila, I forget this nigga said, there's nothing that's going to come out of these niggas' mouth I even want to listen to. And again, this is not to put him down, but what he was saying is, I know who they are. I know the truth. I'm not falling for that fucking illusion. And that's what you have pretty much. That's why you have an Eastern, I guess, spirituality. And then you have a Western ways of spirituality. They do not talk about the same thing. Their interpretation of life, like you see the Indian, our shit are similar. Like me being Haitian, voodoo, we have different deities and all that shit. There's a state of mind that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? That's why we understood, we have a better understanding of life in terms of, that's why we have our fucking deities, we have our symbols, because we know how to talk to ourselves. That education is different. This is true consciousness. Whereas the other one is the intellect. The foundation of them, they just sound good. But again, you can't see things better when there's no, like if you only, let's just say, a logical person. While only being logical, you're going to hurt people sometimes in thinking that you're being logical. But sometimes if you mix that up with a little bit of emotion, that's what compassion is about. Then you wouldn't be so rigid with people. Do you see what I'm saying? That's when, you can lay back and chill, baby. Talk your shit, nigga. I love you. You keep talking. It's all good. The state of mind is different. The understanding is different. That's why you ought to combine your intellect with your emotion. When you have compassion for a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, my nigga, you choose to be a thug. It's all good. I still love you, though. You know what I'm saying? But, you do the thug shit, I do the spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? But I love you, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't judging you neither. You know what I'm saying? That's technically what it is. That's what the compassion is. I understand why you do what you do, and I'm not putting you down. I accept you for who you are. That's what true love is also about, too. You see what I'm saying? And I also talk about, but none of that has to do with because you are, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you're saying, I was listening to a brother talking. He was saying nowadays there's a lot of distraction. You have your phone, you have this, you get like you can't blame shit on fucking distraction, my nigga. You see that's the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. No, man. You can't blame shit on the phone and shit. Nah, motherfuckers are just ignorant, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I got my phone too. Why am I'm not tripping? Well, because that's the phone is not the issue. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys are focusing on distraction. That's what your focus is. Well, guess what? Well, that's what you're gonna get. But the distraction in itself is not the problem. It's your focus, man. You gotta change your focus, baby. Improve your focus. That's why, you know what I'm saying, you gotta work on you. That's what the shit is. Work on you, motherfucker. Do your work. What do you need to do? You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay on your beauty. I find mine, nigga. Find yours. And stay on it too. Shit, nigga. I ain't giving up. I ain't giving shit. I ain't giving up on none of this. On none of this. But anyway, it's almost like their perspective of humanity is just a dark and gloomy. There's no spirit in it. So if you're looking at the material, because you got to understand, to the pure, all is pure. And in fact, I talked about, you know what I'm saying, the state of ignorance. When you focus on darkness, or just one side, the material world, then you become a material person. Life is too short. You got to do what you got to do. Then you got to be greedy. Why the fuck not? I'm going to get it by any means necessary. Because, you know, this definition here, it's all about getting it. So we are promoting that. You go to school, you know, so you got to have a career. What are you doing? You got to make money. You got to have a beautiful house to be validated. I mean, that's the whole state of ignorance that's being fueled by due to ignorance. Not because I'm human. You know what I'm saying? Humanity doesn't automatically does that, man. That's why for you to become whole, you also have to see both sides of you. Because if you tapping into your divinity, then you're not going to be greedy, motherfucker. Everybody could have some, nigga. Why you got to be so greedy? You say, how about other people, bitch? But you don't see it like that. You only see me, 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 me. Because you've been conditioned to think that way. You're not being born and automatically greedy. The fuck? Like our early stages, everything that we're going through from us being a baby, it's all taken. It's being. This is all accountability. It's all part of your creation. You know what I'm saying? That's why for me, being conscious, I'm aware of all of that the way I'm dealing with my kids. You know what I'm saying? That's why God got to raise other gods, man. But I wouldn't be able to do that have I not awakened the God in me. But anyway, I'm saying all of that to say, you know, I'm saying so much here too, because even to see better, you got to go in. And that's why this world, like the Indian call it Maya, is a fucking illusion. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. You don't even hear with your ears, man. You hear with your motherfucking understanding. Or the shit that you know. If you're learning a language, the only couple words that you know when somebody's talking, those are going to be the words that you're going to hear, nigga. Until you learn additional more words, then now you could identify with the motherfucker. You knowing more. So your life is your inner vision. Your understanding is truly you are listening with your understanding. Now people are saying you got two ears. So again, it's to show you that the complexity of who you are. You are not as you look, as you appear to be. That's why we are spirit, having a human experience. But you can't dissociate your spirit from this experience. In other words, like, what the fuck are you doing? That's why you're not conscious of you're not truly. Do you see what I'm saying? There's different layers on how you could look at it. But if you're not conscious of it, then you're just having a nightmare. That's what being trapped is. And this is all referring to, you know, light, enlightenment. Because when we refer to light, it's not necessarily like it's better, but we're talking about consciousness. That's why that same light may have a different meaning. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about when I was talking about darkness too. Do you see what I'm saying? Like a lighter side of somebody could be, you know, as they appear, the way they, when people first look at them, when you don't truly know somebody. Then when you truly know them, that could might be considered their dark side. So again, I'm just trying to show you like there's different layers in it. And we're using that even in our language. We're showing gender, the masculinity and the femininity. We are showing both sides of the same coin. We are showing the yin and the yang. We are showing the spirit and matter, nigga. And we're doing that in every layers in our life. That's when, you know, these niggas, the Kama Sutra, when they showing you all those orgies that's taking place around you. That's a whole bunch of fucking, meaning the masculine energy. When you're talking about sex, when the dick goes inside of a pussy, that's a form of sex. That could be a physical sex. But the sex is happening, which is the union of the positivity and the negativity. That's that union, and it's taking place all around you. Do you see what I'm saying? So, again, so the Gnostic, the general perspective of them, you know, looking at this humanity, and if you see the movie, then you'll get to see all of that. There was another part that we're talking about. Was it gluttony? I think, you know, it means like a beast, a fat motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, that eats a lot. Here's something else too. Even that, I mean, motherfuckers that are eating a lot or that are fucking fat, it's not because they're fucking human. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers have low self esteem, meaning, you know what I'm saying, they checked out. Fuck it. Or, you know, some people are fat because they're all closed off, not because they eat a lot. There's many reasons why somebody could be fat, bro. And I could tell you right now, based on my experience, some of the people that I know who are fat, that's why a lot of these people have low self esteem. They're not, I mean, because of their low self esteem, they were not able to lose weight, bro. They are closed off, and it appears in their fucking energy when they're eating. You know, they're not digesting their food. They're holding on to everything. Those are your stingy motherfuckers. They're closed off. A lot of those fat people, a lot of people are fat because of that. Fear causes people to be fat. You know, a certain gland that they may have, right? You know, due to that. That's why they'll tell you certain people, you know what I'm saying, not really big boned, but I guess what I'm trying to say, I mean, that's not what I'm referring to at all. But I'm talking about mostly like certain people, they would say their gland, they can easily gain weight or some shit like that. You know, due to fear or certain things triggered other things in your body. That's what the whole fucking, you know, the, I don't want to say African spiritual, medicine, because that's not my thing. I know what I need to know about that. You know what I'm saying? But the whole healing your body with using certain herbs that could deal with certain spirit in you, and ultimately, you know what I'm saying, with that other side of you, or know how, you know what I'm saying, there's certain herbs that could help you to do all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's when those healing too. I mean, because those are spiritual healers too. I'm just a different kind. You know what I'm saying? But again, you know what I'm saying? I guess I've done that before. I'm not here for this today. You know what I'm saying? Or by today, I'm talking about in this lifetime. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely get it too. So I'm saying all of that to say, you know what I'm saying, it's not just because you're being born. There are so many different things. A low self-esteem, meaning now you're not in touch with you listen, you know, people who know, who see the divine or see the beauty in them, you can't act like a victim, bro. And you're not. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you become alive. That's the awakening process. That's why the name of this game, you're not here to be, your magic is to be conscious, nigga. Everything else is just an aspect of you. You're already doing that anyway. You being magical without you even trying. You know, like when they talking about the law of manifestation, they also told you that too. You've been doing that. Guess what? If you're a negative person, then you manifest a lot of negative shit anyway. So it's not because they told you that, then you started manifesting. We were manifesting way before that. That's why this shit are just telling you about who? You. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't think you are the creator, man, I don't know what to tell you. I tried my best. But you got to see it for yourself. That shit's making sense to me like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because call it religion, it's been created by men. Magic, the Egyptian, well, niggas. You know what I'm saying? Now, some may argue there was a civilization that came before the Atlanteans, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It could be that too. Cool. But this is just you telling me my essence. Then you know what I'm saying. In other words, you just telling me again I'm divine. Like, how do you want to say it? You can say it that way. You can say it this way. But I get the message though personally, because and that's why I always tell people too. Even when we're saying, and that is my personal opinion as well. Like, there's something that's greater than me, and I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I shouldn't say I feel it that way, but I feel my connection with everything, right? While that perspective is still coming from me. Rather, let's just say, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say, okay, there's something greater than me. Yeah, but it's still coming from my understanding too, right? Because what you don't understand, you don't talk about. And that's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, I could identify myself with being a God, but you may not. Because if you don't understand that, you're not gonna you are going to refute it. Me, you know, I'm in touch with my divinity. I understand I have God essence in me. In fact, that's how I'm able to be fully balanced over here. That's why I may not be greedy. That's why maybe, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, I love being, you know, integrity is, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, you can't serve two gods, baby. What are you doing? And that's what technically this is talking about in terms of, what the fuck? What was the point I was talking about? There was some shit I was talking about before. In terms of you can't do better than, if you don't know better, you can't do better. It's not going to happen. And that's just the way it is. So meaning everybody has to see the truth for themselves. And then now at that point, if you don't, you just, if you're following other people, well, I mean, shit, what's new? You still have not seen it, so therefore you still, you know what I'm saying? You're still going by your ignorance. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, you can't choose past the things. I think the Matrix did say that shit. You can't see past the things you don't understand. That's facts. That's facts. And that's for everybody. But again, just to show you that you are the creator of your life, bro. You are creating your life. However you want to dissect it. You are the creator. Like, shit. That shit's clear to me. But I had to realize it for myself. And maybe somebody else who might, needed to have that push. I could try, I'm trying to give you that sight. I'm doing God's work. And if it's, you get to see it, nigga, listen, man. You tell them what you see. Tell them we're giving sights on this side, man. Tell them to come get, the spiritual healer is giving out medicines. Let them know. Tell him he's the silent one. A silent one. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm the silent one, man. But anyway, so it's always crazy though. It's like, I shouldn't say crazy, but it's always, I guess, amazing for me personally. Like sometimes I may plan to talk about certain things on some level, and the spirit takes it on a whole different level. I love it, man. And when you channeling and being in that connection, that alignment, what I'm saying, with the other world, man. I mean, there's still some shit, I can't even talk to niggas about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, man. It's like just a bunch of shit. So if you're creating, I'll give you a perfect example. Now, if you are the creator, you're creating everything, like, okay, so is there really a God? But most importantly, what is our connection with the other side too? Because there is another side, your spirit guides, and all that shit. As you're connecting with that other side, then you understand they're also ruling this world too. You know what I'm saying? That's where you have your guides. That's where you come here to do your mission. You're doing what you're doing. There's a whole bunch of path. There's a whole bunch of shit that's taking place, that's also taking place on that other side. And part of you becoming conscious too is to know who you are, also relatively to that other side. But now what's going on with that other side? Now that conversation's for the elders. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of conversation I love. Because now it's triggering a whole different aspect in me though. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man. I love these motherfuckers. And they fuck with me too. You know what I'm saying? And again, man, like, we're creating we're pulling that energy down here, man. Oh yeah, baby. Listen, man, we're making a mark. Listen, what? Oh man. Oh, we definitely came to dance, man. We came to dance down here, man. Hey, man, we're gonna do exactly what we came here to do, baby. We're gonna give you a bang. You hear me? We're gonna work you out. We're gonna work you out. So there's a lot to be done, a lot to be said, man. The the journey that I'm willing to start with you guys, that I had been started too. You know what I'm saying? I gotta let you guys know, being the spirit spoke person, representation, you know what I'm saying? Oh, ambassador. You know what I'm saying? That's why I even call myself l'esprit. You feel me? Which simply means spirit. So I am the ambassador, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Trying to let you motherfuckers know, man, we here. It's that time, baby. It's that time, man. It's that time. Let's do it. Let's work. We're already working, man. It's time for you guys to, let's wake up. Let's truly get to see things for exactly what it is. Let's give them something they never seen before, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, man. We gotta be dramatic out here, man. What the fuck do you think Michael Jackson and Prince did? They give you motherfuckers something you never seen before down here, man. Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying? All the greats. Come on, Eddie. You know what I'm saying? My nigga. You feel me? These niggas are wilding down here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming, nigga. I'm making my way through, baby. It's all good, you know what I'm saying? I had to study the game tapes, man. I had to get my beauty on. I said, but we are definitely outside, though. We're here, man. We're here. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But anyway, again, the idea here is not to be one-sided. It's to embrace both the masculine or the physical and the non-physical aspect of our lives. A lot of the sins that the movie was talking about in terms of that was reflecting humanity, that is not the case at all. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be human and not be greedy. So being greed is not an essence of you being born. It is a product of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? You're not being born in it. I mean, how can I say this? Like Maya is the cause for the illusion, but it is not the illusion itself. I got you. How can I say this? All right. We manifested ourselves down here, man. But just like every manifestation, right? It's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, just because, I mean, how can I say this? An illusion doesn't mean it's ignorance. It could be a fucking ignorance if you don't see it. But an illusion doesn't automatically is the cause of your ignorance, if that makes any sense. Because the illusion could still be there, but when you get to see it for what it is, it has nothing on you. So truly, it is either you're conscious or you're not. That's why when people are, like I was telling you guys before, man, if you concentrate on the fucking distraction, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? It's like niggas are talking about negativity and expecting, I mean, it's like crazy. You're talking nonsense. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying, what can I say? Like, technology is the reason why. You know what I'm saying? That because of technology. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I mean, I certainly understand people are now in their phone. But it comes with every new world. Everything that is being created has shifted our reality. Before you have your cellular phone, you have a house phone, right? It was the house phone. Now then you got to get a phone for your motherfucking house. That was fucking important. Was it important before? No. But once it's been created, we have shifted our reality. Now it becomes a new reality. But you could be in different realities and still maintain your consciousness. That's what I'm trying to say. You see what I'm saying? In other words, let's just say, you know what? I'm conscious, and because the internet, there's a lot of people who's not conscious who are into the internet. I'm not gonna use the internet. The fuck? Do you see what I'm saying? Because even if we were not living in that reality, let's go back to the reality that we were in before. People wasn't smarter then. Do you see what I'm saying? People wasn't smarter then. We didn't know a whole bunch of dumb motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Because the internet is really revealing these motherfuckers. Or these motherfuckers are truly being exposed. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. These niggas were still bullshit niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now you could tell me, let's just say, okay, now the brothers, you know what I'm saying, in the past, let's just say in the 70s, brothers, they didn't have their pants on their asses and shit. Yeah, that's true. That's facts. I'm pretty sure you can show it to me. Right? But they weren't no better than these niggas, man. Well, not to me. I mean, on a surface level, you may say yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's bullshit, man. That's why in fact, that's why you have your niggas like Tupac that comes in, thug life. Fuck these niggas. In other words, they're saying this niggas, y'all talking a good talk, but y'all ain't doing shit. You marching in the name of whatever the fuck, but it's not giving you any fucking results. You know what I'm saying? How better is you, nigga? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't work, mine don't work. What's the difference? Or the way yours didn't work was better. Yours didn't work better. You know what I'm saying? It was just the form in it. It didn't appear that way. But it was the same bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, you know, so what we're seeing now came out of that shit. It's coming out the fucking closet. Oh, there was a bunch of skeletons, baby, in those closets. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're looking at right now. And that's what that slave generation means. A lot of those hidden shit that were not addressed, or even, you know what I'm saying, that there's a certain effect that shit has on you. Hell yeah. Yo, think about it, man. Like, I've seen niggas, yo, like, that's why spirituality is our key. Meaning, we have to get to know who we are, doing our shadow work for everybody. That's why, to me, when Bobby Hemmy said spirituality is our only way out, I said yes. Not on some other bullshit like fuck Earth and shit. That's not that. But for us to be independent, to truly be who we are, you gotta be in your spirituality, which is your roots, your essence. Then at that point, once you get into your spirituality, slavery would have nothing to do on you. That mentality, you would automatically transmute that reality because, again, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to address by you want to be able to transmute or to be the best, I mean, to be yourself. You don't want to be half of yourself. So to truly be yourself, you would have to embrace all it is that is of your concern. Being in your best behavior, meaning not to please other people, but being in your element. That's your best behavior, baby. You know, I'll be on my best behavior. Even when I gotta curse motherfuckers out. Even if I gotta be the silent one. Or I'm styling all day, every day, nigga. But again, this is for the elders, man. You gotta find your beauty and stay on that shit. Listen, when you find your treasure, you already know. Like the men said, you know what I'm saying, you sell everything else just to keep your treasure. And that's peace, baby. That's peace, man. That's that connection. Listen, I ain't giving that shit up for nothing. Nothing. Anyway, I'm being dramatic. It's a holiday, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm being very touchy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, vraiment touché. Yeah. But anyway, to summarize pretty much the Gnostic shit, I don't even know how I'm gonna. Anyway, I'll come up with a title because I can't really call this the Gnostics or anything because it was a lot of it, but but none of it. You know me. Listen, man. You know what I'm saying? Opposite meat over here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, with all that being said, check out the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Let's build up. You know what I'm saying? Let's do what we came here to do, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you already know. Aisha, Mali.